Hey guys, welcome to our math lesson. For today's math lesson, we're going to have to go back to our Ready Math Journal Volume 1, okay? Volume 1. Today we're going to be on page 273. 273. I'm going to go ahead and read our learning target from the page here, okay? This learning target says tell and write time from analog and digital clock to the nearest 5 minutes using AM and PM. Let's talk about those words, analog and digital clocks. An analog clock is a clock that looks like this. It has the numbers that go around the clock. 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We have to know what each of these numbers do, and we're going to look more at that in just a little bit. Then we have a digital clock. A digital clock is a clock that uses digits to show time, okay? All right, so when we're telling time, it said to the nearest 5 minutes. So let's look at what a minute is. A minute is a unit of time. There are 60 seconds in 1 minute, and there are 60 minutes in 1 hour, okay? An hour hand is the shorter hand on the clock, and the minute hand is the longer hand on the clock that shows the minutes. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and look at this question on page 273. It says, in the afternoon, Lucy starts her piano lesson at the time shown on the clock. What time does the clock show? Okay. All right, I want you to go ahead and answer that. When you're done answering, you may unpause the video to continue. All right, so let's go ahead now and let's answer that question. What is the time shown on the clock? What time does she start her piano lesson? She starts it at 4:30. Now let's look at AM and PM. AM means that it is happening from midnight until before noon. PM means that it happens from noon back till midnight again. So is she going to do her piano lesson at 4:30 a.m. or 4:30 p.m.? 4:30 p.m., right? That's about the time that we get home from school or your parents get home from work. So we just need to circle that. All right, now let's look at this analog clock and help us to understand better how to use it so that we can continue practicing telling time to the nearest 5 minutes, okay? So there are 2 hands on our clock. There is an hour hand, which is the shorter hand, and it moves from one number to the next number, okay? It takes 1 hour for our hour hand to get all the way back around the clock. Then we have our minute hand, which is the longer hand that tells us our minutes. And while our minute hand is pointing at the numbers on the clock, the digits that you see on that clock, our minute hand is not told by those numbers. Our minutes are told in 5-minute increments, okay? So that's where we get our learning target where it says to tell time to the nearest 5 minutes. Remember that closest 5 minutes. So we start at 12, and that's starting at 0, okay? Then we're going to skip count by 5. So 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So that's where we get the 30 from in 4:30. On our clock, remember, we have 60 minutes, and 60 minutes are broken up into those 5-minute increments all the way around. AM means during the morning, and PM means from noon until midnight. So what number did the hour hand just go past? So if we look and we follow our hour hand, we notice that it's not on one of those exact numbers. If it's in between go back, we have to go to the number that it just passed, okay? So the hand just passed the 4. What number is the minute hand pointing to? It's pointing to the 6, but we don't say that the time is 4:06 here. We have to skip count by 5s to find the number of minutes. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and 30. So the time on the clock shows 4:30. Now there's a question number 3 down here at the bottom, and here's what question number 3 asks us. Why can you skip count by 5 to show that there are 60 minutes in an hour? Go ahead and pause the video and answer that question. When you're done, you may unpause to check. So if we skip count by 5 12 times, because there are 12 numbers, that will show that there are 60 minutes, okay? So in order for us to know that there are 60 minutes, we can skip count by 5 12 times to have 60 minutes. All right, guys, we will continue practicing with time through the next week because this is an important skill for us to have in life. Let's reflect back on our learning target. I can tell and write time from analog and digital clocks in the nearest 5 minutes using AM and PM. Okay? All right, guys, we'll continue practicing.